Hello there, my fabulous dragon friends. Welcome back to another video, another perfume review. My name is Ariel. I am the Sassy Dragon, and today, wow, we are going to be talking about the Jean Paul Gaultier Gorgeous Perfume Classique Eau de Parfum. This is going to be the 2017 edition of this fragrance. I know that the original was created in 1993. I feel like a complete idiot because I've been sleeping on this fragrance. I'd heard so much good stuff about it for so long, and I just had never gotten around to trying it. This one I think is a little bit easy to miss these days because even though it's something that, a lot of people are very aware of, it's harder to find it. Like some of the major retailers don't really sell it in my country. I guess, in the US we don't have it on Sephora, we don't have it on Nordstrom, we don't have it on some of these, major carriers of luxury items and brands, so it's a little bit easy to miss this or not even be able to easily get a sample unless you're really looking for it. But I am happy to say I am absolutely in love with this perfume. I have been playing with it off and on over the last couple weeks. So the coolest part, yes, it does have this amazing presentation. It comes in a can, which is not very much like anything else I've ever seen. But the JPG fragrances, a lot of them come in the can. So it really is very cool. It opens from the top like so, and it is just such a beautiful bottle. It kind of looks like, the female silhouette or a dress form in the corset, very kind of like a magenta, fuchsia, ruby red kind of color. It has the, on the back we have the Gaultier, embossed upon the back with a little bit of corseting detailing in the back. Of course, he was very famous for his corsets, still is. And so the cool thing too here about to protect the neck of the bottle to keep it from spraying without you wanting it to is it has this little tab, so you're just gonna pull that, and so there you go. This one was created by Jacques Cavalier, and he is also the person who did the original Classique in 1993. The note composition on that one is quite different from this one. I have not smelled that original 1993 version, so this review is purely for this 2017 version. This one has top notes. We'll start with the top notes. We always do that. Are going to be rum, rose, Sicilian, mandarin. This thing is delicious, guys. This is one of the nicest perfumes I've smelled in a while. I absolutely adore it. So yeah, for me, the biggest thing that hits in the top is the rose. The rum is in there, the mandarin is in there, but the rose is very front and center. It doesn't specify what kind of rose this is, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The middle notes, likewise, are very present to me. The narcissus in the mid is so obvious, and it blends so beautifully here. Now, narcissus is a note that you don't really see in a whole lot of fragrances, at least I have not. And it's similar to like a daffodil or a jonquil. It has that same kind of scent. And so it is a little bit green. It's a little bit fresh. It's a slight bit powdery. As a kid, I remember running around picking daffodils like crazy. So this is a note that triggers really good memories for me. And it blends so beautifully with the rose and the sweet notes that it almost takes on almost a slight spicy carnation feel for me. Not like the kind of icky, like scentless carnations, but the ones that really have a little bit of that florally, spicy, warm, powdery thing that's a little bit fresh. It makes me feel like a little bit of that, the way it blends together. This also has an orchid note, and we know that most of the time orchid notes are fantasy notes because most orchids do not have a whole lot of scent. So I'm not sure how the orchid comes into play in that, but in my opinion, it's probably a little bit more subtle, playing, a supporting role to those stronger floral notes of the narcissus and the rose, which are really more front and center. As this dries down, it has the most gorgeous scents in the base. It has a vanilla, amber, tonka bean, and sandalwood. You can't go wrong with any of those in my book. And it is just freaking gorgeous. I love this perfume. There is something so complete about it. It's the kind of floral that I absolutely love, that has, you know, those floral notes that are very, you know, they're heady, they're fresh, they have that floralcy that's so beautiful, but they're not just a boring, linear, simple floral. They have that warmth, they have that sensuousness, they have that depth. It's a perfect name to call this Classique because it does feel like such a kind of classic, feminine, it's sensual but not like overly aggressively sexual, right? It's just like the scent of an elegant woman. That's all, you know, that I feel when I smell this. It reminds me, now keep in mind, it doesn't smell like these, but it has the same sort of essence. It has the same sort of feeling about it. It reminds me a lot of one of my other all-time favorites, which is Givenchy's very Irresistible, the Eau de Parfum, or the previous sensual version. It reminds me of that because that one had that very floral, it had a couple of notes of rose, but then it had that very beautiful sensual vanilla patchouli dry down that made it have that that just come to me, give me an embrace, you know, kind of feeling. So it has a similar vibe to that, even though this is a very different smelling perfume. It has that same feeling of just elegant, timeless, classic, you know, has those gorgeous fragrance, you know, floral notes, but then it also brings in that delicious warmth. This thing smells amazing. I think the so I've got a couple of other Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances that I am going to do reviews of soon. I had never really taken the dive into his fragrances before, but now that I have, I am really adoring them. The one thing that I will say about all of their fragrances, whether you like them or not, they have incredible sillage and longevity. These things are made to last, which is a rare find more and more these days. I would say in the 90s, you know, when I was really like coming of age and using more fragrances, it was easier to find perfumes that had long-lasting power, and that seems to be getting weaker and more watered down in a lot of brands, including, of course, luxury brands. But these guys, I will tell you, Gaultier is still keeping these very strong, very intense. You could put this on and still be smelling it later in the day, unless, of course, you have the kind of chemistry that just tends to eat up the notes that are in a particular perfume, and all of us have those. We all have a perfume out there that, you know, other people swear lasts forever on them, but on us it just goes away in a minute because our personal chemistry just sucks up those notes and it's just gone. So everybody has that, you know, tested to your personal chemistry, but this thing and all of the perfumes from him that I've tried so far have been long-lasting and absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. I think you can get it for a pretty decent price. I found on fragrancenet.com. But this is just gorgeous. Again, I feel so behind the curve just getting around to trying this one out because I had no idea I would love it so much. And it's just blowing me away. To me, this is one of those that you could say would be signature fragrance worthy for sure, because to me, this is a scent that I could envision wearing anywhere, any time of the year. This is spring, summer, winter, fall, it doesn't matter, daytime, nighttime. It's light enough to work for the warmer times in the daytime, but it's deep and sensual enough to work for the evening or those cooler times of the year. So it's just kind of it's a classic. It has the freshness of the florals, but also is the sweetness of those more kind of gourmand, sensual notes, and neither one overpowers the other. They complement each other perfectly well, so you end up with something that's not overly stringent or floral, but also not overly, you know, gourmand or foodie or soupy. It's so delicious, guys. Get this perfume. Give it a try. If you don't like it, you know, I'll buy it off of you if you don't want it anymore, because I have a feeling I'm going to be wearing this one a lot, and I hope that you will enjoy it as much as I did. Tell me what you think of it if you've already had it. Tell me if you have tried the 1993 version versus this one and how you feel that they measure up, compare, contrast. Let me know if they still even make the 1993 version. I don't know that they do, but I would love to try them both and see which I like even more. The other thing that I haven't tried yet is the Eau de Toilette version of the Classique, and I'd love to know what you think about that in terms of the notes and the lastingness or longevity of it. I will be having more to come in the future soon. Let me know what you might like me to review if you have one that I haven't done yet. So I will talk to y'all soon, and have a wonderful day, evening, or afternoon wherever you are. Bye for now.